It's James Holt back with another video. Today we're doing something that I'm really excited to finally do. I'm taking you behind the scenes of a Facebook ad campaign and talking about what's going on and explaining things that change and what I see when I look at this data. One of our followers who has built a store with some of my help and has been featured in other videos as well, he reached out to me asking if I could give some feedback on his ad campaigns, and I am glad to do so. And I think that not only he will benefit, but hopefully all of you will learn something from this as well. Right now we're in the Facebook Business Manager's Power Editor. We're on the Ad Sets tab, so not the Campaign tab. This is all inside one campaign. And he's got 6 different ad sets running right from the start. Now, one thing to note is that 2 of these are story only. So he's running 2 ads that are only for the Instagram story. And those need a different ad creative and a different size, which is why I think it's acceptable to use them in a different ad set. However, I think he has too many ad sets running from the start. I usually start with only 2, maybe 3 ad sets when I'm testing a new product to see whether it converts, and then creating more ad sets by taking what's working and excluding the rest. So that's my first little pointer for him. For the future campaigns, start with fewer ad sets. The next thing is, you can see his targeting here in the ad set name. It's got 14 to 25 for all of these, so that's the age bracket he's targeting, and he's targeting females only in all of them. Now, this is a guy who understands marketing. He knows who his target customer is, and they are likely in the age bracket 14 to 25, and they are almost certainly female because he's selling a clothing item or a whole outfit for females who enjoy going to festivals. While I agree that that's his target audience, I would not set that as the targeting right from the start. This may seem a little surprising, but I like to start more broadly. You can always narrow down later once you've collected data and you can actually look at what segments of the interest group are converting. So once you have data, you can then look and see through this breakdown tab, you can find out what ages are converting, gender, location, platform, device, all of this. So I would go broader. I would use males and females as the targeting, and all age brackets. The cool thing is, because of the interest that he's selected in his targeting, which is related to festivals, music festivals, whatever, most people will be female and 14 to 25. So even if you don't have this age limitation, your target audience is still going to be the largest percentage of the people your ad is shown to. The reason you don't want to limit it to just that one bracket though, is that while, let's say, age range 25 to 35 females may only be a small part, say 5% of the people who see your ad, but if that 5% converts well, perhaps even better than the younger age bracket, you still want to have them in your campaign. Perhaps you might even later on down the road want to target only them because that's where you're getting the best conversion. I'm not saying that's definitely the case, but I'm saying it's a possibility. And by limiting your targeting to females in this one age bracket, you're never going to find out whether other age brackets might do better. Same for gender. Believe it or not, I have found for some products that are female only, No man would ever need this product. Men convert at a cheaper cost per acquisition. Possible reasons for that: maybe there's more advertisers targeting females for this type of product. It's entirely possible. Maybe there's males buying it for their girlfriend. Maybe it's girls seeing it on their boyfriend's Facebook and getting him to buy it. Whatever the case may be, I have the data, and men sometimes convert cheaper than women for female only products. So you want to have both genders. And there's also a mysterious column that you'll come across in your analytics on Facebook called unknown gender. And as far as I know, this is not a social justice warrior thing. It's just Facebook must either not be allowed to give the data to us, or they might just not know the gender of some of these people that have bought. And because, or this is my theory, because people target female only and male only, if you target everyone, you also get the unknown bracket, which there is less competition in, I believe. I'm not entirely sure whether you'll get the unknown bracket as well if you target females, but I think you don't. And I think that's the reason why the unknown gender category often converts at the cheapest cost of all. So you absolutely want to have both genders starting out. Again, once you've collected data, make decisions based on your data, as we're going to show you how to do later on. But don't make too many assumptions right from the start. That's a little introduction, the first things I noticed about this campaign. Now we want to look at the data we have received. It's important to note that he spent $80 on this total. So he's got some amount of data, but more than half is for this one ad set. So all of these don't have that much data yet. So none of what I'm saying right now is conclusive. Once you've spent maybe $20 or $25 for the type of product he's advertising, which is a low ticket item that it's just an impulse buy. You can get a good idea of whether a campaign will work spending $20 to $25 on an ad set. So let's look at this bottom one first, where he spent the most money. He's made 2 sales, which is good. Website purchase conversion value, this often says 0. I don't honestly know whether this is because it's not set up correctly, or just because Facebook Pixel doesn't always get the value of buys from Shopify. It could also be to do with the free plus shipping issue. I have the same thing, so I usually get rid of this tab completely because it doesn't tell me anything. Link clicks 53 for $44 spent. He's got quite a high cost per link click, but he should also be getting some button clicks. Yeah, he's spending a little more than 50 cents per click, which could work, but is, I would say, more on the high end, which suggests that either his targeting or his ad is not great. Let's look at the ad he's running. We're not going to change anything, we just want to see what he's doing here. He set the goal of the ad set to purchase, which is good. Potential reach 1.5 million people. His targeting is too general. He's got interest expansion off, that's very important, that's good. And he has selected only Facebook feeds as targeting. That also works. I would not run as many ad sets and then include the Instagram feed in this as well. For the targeting, he's used everyone in the United States in this age and gender. that likes music festivals. Now that is way too broad for your first campaign. I would use this narrow audience feature down here and add other interest groups in here to get this potential reach group down to under 500,000 people. That way you can actually optimize your campaigns faster. Your pixel will be more effective as well, because trying to optimize for 1.5 million people when you're only spending $6 a day is very hard and likely won't work. So the places I'd work at for this campaign is the targeting, first of all. Then I would change the age and gender, as we said. United States is the only country, that's fine. United States is a good country for advertising. It tends to convert well. You can leave that just the same. Perhaps go over to the ad. This is the actual ad he's running. Looks good. One thing that I usually do, I don't create ads in Facebook like this. I click use existing post and then I enter the post ID here and I go over into the page post section and create a Facebook post in here, and it just looks more natural. It looks more natural that way because it doesn't look like an ad, it looks like a normal Facebook post, and it just has that little sponsored bit. For the overall feel, it feels like a normal Facebook post and doesn't stand out like an ad, which, as you know, people just tend to skip. So here, if you're going to do what I suggested and combine it all into one ad set, you could add your Instagram account here, and the same ad would run on Instagram as well. Now I noticed he's got two different targeting settings. The first is this music festival, everyone that likes music festival, the very, very broadest term he could find, which, as I said before, is too big of a group. Let's look at his targeting here. 460,000 people, that's good, that's better. And yeah, he's targeting anyone that likes these. So if I can give you an easy suggestion without knowing the niche at all, I would say take the biggest of these groups, which is this one, the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. Use this one in the other targeting. So use Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival as the narrow audience feature. So here you click on narrow, see if we can find it. So now you're targeting only people that like music festivals, the broad term, and also Coachella. What this does is it gives you a more engaged Facebook user, more of a festival lover. Because instead of targeting someone that likes the broad term, you're targeting someone who likes the broad term and Coachella. This is more targeted and likely to get better engagement than someone who likes only one or the other. Because you can imagine that someone that likes multiple pages about music festivals is likely a great target customer for this site. So I don't want to change this ad, so I'm going to cancel all the changes I've made and get out of here. That's how I would use the narrowing audience for all these ad sets that use the very broad interest. Now let's look at some of the other ad sets, which in his case are different placements. This one's Instagram feed only. $7. This doesn't look great. You're spending about 70 cents per click. This one's doing better. What's this? The general interest is doing better than the Big Four Music Festival interest, just in terms of clicks, but until you get sales, you can't really tell much by that. Here you've got a few add to baskets, which I'm going to assume are add to carts. I don't know why it says add to baskets. On my account, this would say add to cart. I'm assuming that's the same thing. And you can see that the two story only ads are doing pretty well actually. He spent less than $7 on each and had 3 and 4 add to carts, which is pretty good. Doesn't mean anything yet until you're getting actual sales, but I think those two definitely look the most promising of these campaigns, or ad sets rather. To finish off, I want to use the breakdown feature to see if we can recognize any trends or groups that are performing better than others. I can say from the get-go that I don't expect to see much here, because he hasn't got enough purchases or adds to cart yet to see any real trend, and also because he's already set his targeting quite specific. You are unlikely to see much that you can really learn and profit from by using the breakdown feature. But just for demonstrations purposes, I'm going to go in here, breakdown by delivery, and let's select platform and device. So now what you want to look for is go through all these ad sets and have a look at segments where you've spent a substantial or a decent amount of money, because what you don't want to do is make decisions based on 70 cents of ad spend. You can't make any decision based on that ever. You always want to have maybe 10-15 bucks of spend before making a decision, because otherwise you've just got too much variance and just pure luck or lack of luck affecting your results rather than anything significant. So first ad set, we don't have any groups, or we only have one group rather, which is iPhone. Same for all of these. None of the other segments are big enough to tell us anything interesting. So let's just look at this bottom ad set where he spent the most money. Here we have 2 ad sets that we might be able to learn something from, at least based on the amount of ad spend he's had. That is iPhone and Android smartphones. Okay, so that's interesting. While I wouldn't say this is conclusive by any means, he has done better on iPhones than he has on Androids. Okay, his 2 conversions, his only 2 conversions are from iPhone, but that doesn't tell us quite enough yet. What I find interesting here is the cost per click is lower, which unfortunately I can't see right now. Let's have a look at this. It's my second attempt at recording this, so I know the cost per click is interesting. See, link clicks and button clicks. Just adding those columns in here at the back. And you can see he has spent a little less for Androids, but not twice as much. So it's more than half of the other campaign. Horrible way of formulating that, but you hopefully understand what I mean. And yet he is getting almost a third of the clicks that he gets on iPhone. So Android users are, as far as this data shows us, less likely to click on his ads, or better stated, he's getting cheaper clicks on iPhone, and they are also leading to sales, and his cost per click is cheaper on iPhones than Androids. Wouldn't make any decisions yet based on this data, just because 2 conversions versus 0 is not enough data to decide anything for sure. But as these other ad sets up here get more information and more data points, I would keep an eye out for the iPhone and Android user comparison to see whether this is a trend that remains constant. That is all for this video. I've really enjoyed making this. Thank you very much for giving me access to the back end of your Facebook Ads Manager. I hope I was able to help you and also help everyone else watching this. We've only just scratched the surface of what this massive marketing platform can do. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will answer every single one of them as long as I can. To try to be honest when I can't answer, which is still the case for a lot of things, especially inside Facebook ads. But if I can, I will help you and even give you some personalized feedback if you allow me to use it as an example for everyone else. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for more information on dropshipping, Shopify and Facebook ads. We're releasing new videos every day, at least for the time being. We'll see how long that holds up. But if you want to see another video drop tomorrow, hit that subscribe button and be back tomorrow. Until next time.